when a friend of mine, or not so much a friend as an acquaintance, he had a heart attack last week. He was in Baltimore. Now, he lives in Canada, but he was in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to have a heart attack, Carl, the best place on this floating ball in space to have one is in Baltimore, home of the best cardiac team on the planet at Johns Hopkins there, right?
Yes.
So he ends up getting rushed to Johns Hopkins University. He gets the best cardiac care on earth right there. And I was telling his son, as all this was happening, I said, listen, man, don't worry. Your father's going to be just fine because he's got the best people on the planet looking after him right now. And so they did. They took care of him. He had 100% blockage in the main artery leading to his heart. I mean, This guy was basically dead.
He was a walking dead man.
Walking dead man, and they took really good care of him. And finally, the insurance company in Canada said, look, you got to get back to Canada. Like, this is costing us a lot of money, And so they ended up shipping him back to Canada. But the heart surgeon in Baltimore said, listen, I know what your healthcare system is like in Canada, and I want you to know that until you see a specialist in Canada, I mean a heart specialist, I don't mean like a general practitioner, okay?
Uh-huh.
I mean like until you see a heart specialist in Canada, I am your doctor.
Uh-huh.
And I know this could take several months for you to actually see a heart specialist in Canada. Until that happens, I am your doctor. So if anything happens to you, I want updates on how you feel, how you're feeling every day. I want to know because I am your doctor. Do we have that clear? And he said,
wow.
Yes, sir, doctor, whatever his name is. I have that clear. Now, isn't that amazing, right?
Yes.
He's no longer getting paid for this service because the Canadian medical system is now taken over. Poor guy. But the doctor says, look, I know I'm not getting paid anymore by your insurance company, but I just want you to know you're in my hands until a specialist can take over, okay?
Wow.
But the reason I bring all this up is because yesterday the NHS had their 70th anniversary. The NHS is the National Health System in Great Britain.
Okay.
Okay? Now, I'm listening to the BBC, their coverage of this all day yesterday, and I'm listening to this, and all day, all I kept hearing was that it's free. It's free. In fact, if you and I were playing, we like to joke around about you and I don't drink hard liquor, but if we were playing the drinking game, listening to this broadcast, Carl,
right.
like a shot of whiskey every time they said the word free,
we'd have alcohol poisoning.
we have alcohol poisoning.
Yes.
We would both need a specialist, right?
Yes. We'd be pickled.
Yeah, free. Right, it's free. Oh, it's an awesome free, right?
Right.
So then they interview this nurse who works at a hospital in England, and the nurse starts saying it's free, right? And I'm thinking, wait a minute, the nurse should know better. And I thought to myself, if I was interviewing the nurse, and as soon as the first time she said it's free, I would say, wait a minute, did you just say that the medical system, that it's free? Well, yeah, it's free. Oh, really? So you don't get a paycheck? You do this for free, do you? You clean up after people's poop and vomit and change the whatever, you do all that for free? Well, no, I get a paycheck. Oh, where does that money come from? Oh, it comes from the NHS. Oh, where does the NHS get their money? Oh, they get it from the government. Oh, where does the government get their money? They get it from taxpayers. Oh, so they actually confiscate the money from people to pay your paycheck and the doctor's paychecks, and the rent or whatever, the property taxes on this bill, everything that costs money is being extricated from the public. The public are paying for this. Now, would you like to retract your earlier statement that this is free? Oh, I suppose I should probably do that. That really, this is not free. It's not free, Carl. Free is the dog whistle here. It's the magic word that makes everything all better, right?
Yeah.
And there are two things that socialized medicine does to a population, Carl, when it's couched as quote-unquote free. The first thing is it creates this illusion of a merciful and philanthropic government, right?
Yes.
Thereby ensures the re-election for the political party in charge of implementing the policy of free medical care, right? Oh, we get free medical care here? Oh, I have to keep voting in this political party that keeps giving away free medical care. If a proper education was done to these people, done to them, because apparently nobody's looking for a proper education. It has to be done to them. right?
Right.
It's like primum susurere, hasten to help. We have got to really force an education down these people's throats in order to right this ship, this giant, enormous ship that's been going in the wrong direction for decades now. The other thing it does, Carl, is it mitigates public's expectations, right? Oh, well, so what if Grandma waited 8 months to see a cancer specialist only to wind up being euthanized by pain medication? I mean, after all, it's free medical care. I mean, what else could they do, right? It's free.
Yeah.
So it mitigates the public's expectations on the medical system. And, I believe that this medical system was created to turn the population into a culture of voter slaves. If you control the health, Carl, you control the people. I mean, listen to this. Freya Lewis, I know we have to go soon, but
we got to go real quick.
She underwent 13 hours of surgery, more than 70 hours of surgery, 13 operations rather, 70 hours of surgery after the Manchester Arena bombing. She said that the hospital had helped her to walk again. She said, quote, "The NHS saved my life and got me back to normal. The NHS is the best thing in the world." And this is exactly what the founders of the United States warned against, putting the government up as God.
Yeah.
American Survival Wholesale is proud to sponsor this ministry and their efforts to shed light on the issues that face our nation. As a veteran and Christian-owned and operated company, we support the freedom to express these Christian principles. We all understand the importance of being prepared. After witnessing the devastation of Hurricanes Harvey, Irma, and the wildfires that affected so many, please support this ministry by clicking on the link below and check out the amazing alt media package for our listeners. Plus, if you use the promo code PNN Radio, that's PNN Radio, you will receive free shipping, a savings of up to $200. Just click on the link below, but please do it today. Your support means so much to this channel.
The Satanists wanted to install their own tribute, a pagan idol, on the Capitol grounds, right next to the Ten Commandments.
Billions around the planet are witnessing a world in the grasp of sadistic spiritual darkness. This unholy alliance has infected our governments, our religious institutions, and our societies. The world appears to be unraveling. But can the evil behind these dark supernatural forces be defeated? Is everything playing out just as the Bible predicted it will in the final days? At last, you can know the answers to mankind's most urgent questions and learn your destiny among today's events in the new, unprecedented work taking the prophecy world by storm. Gods and Thrones, Nakash, Forgotten Prophecy, and the Return of the Elohim by best-selling author, former decorated law enforcement officer, and senior pastor Carl Gallups. This changes everything. Available now wherever fine books are sold.